Hello everyone, welcome to the Simplified Studio. As of our previous video, we have successfully covered chapter 4 up to problem 8. In this particular video, we'll focus on chapter 4, part 3, and we'll start from problem 9. So without further delay, let's get started. So here in problem 9 for chapter 4, which is for the chapter of number theory, the chapter 9 is of category medium. And for chapter 4, problem 9, we are given that P and Q are two positive integers and P over Q is equals to 7.15. Now for column A, we are given only Q, and for column B, we are given 15. We have to compare these two values. So here, let's try to start with the given information. So P over Q equals to 7.15, or we can write it as 7.15 over 1, right? Now, we cannot keep it that way because here we are given that P and Q both are positive integers. But if we assume Q is equals to 1, then P has to be 7.15, which is not an integer. So to make it an integer, what we can do is we can multiply both the denominator and numerator with 10 maybe, but the P still takes the value of 71.5 and Q should be 10. Now, here on the numerator, we see that we have 7.15, and since it's a 0.5 decimal, we can just multiply by 2. That will turn it into an integer. So if we multiply with 2 in both the numerator and denominator, like this, we can get that the value of P should be 143, and the value of Q should be 20. Now we see that at this point, we've satisfied the condition that both P and Q are two positive integers. But Q has to take the value at least 20 to make P, like here, to make P as an integer. And here we are given that for column A, that takes the value of Q, and the minimum value of Q should be equals to 20 to satisfy the condition both P and Q are integers. And for column B, we are given value 15. So Q or 20 is higher than the value of column B or 15. So the answer for question 9 should be A. Now let's move to the question 10. And let's try to see what we are given. We are given that X is a 3-digit number and Y is a 4-digit number. Okay, and there is also some additional information that all the digits of X are greater than 4 and all the digits of Y are less than 5. And for column A, we have the value that the sum of all the digits of X, and for column B, we have the sum of the values of digits of Y. So since X is a 3-digit number, we can write it as 3 boxes, right? And for each of these boxes should take the value greater than 4. And for Y is a 4-digit number. So for column B, we can create a box, 4 boxes, and we are given that all the digits of Y are less than 5, right? Okay, now we have to compare the sum of the digits of X and the sum of the digits of Y. Now for this type of comparison, we have to think about all the cases that can happen. And we have to see that if whatever answer we are referring that satisfies for all the cases or not. So let's try to focus on column A. We have 3 boxes where each of the value for the boxes should be greater than 4. So let's assume that we can have like 5, 5, 5, okay? And the sum of this 5, 5, 5 should be 15, which is the minimum value the column A can take, because all the digits of X should be greater than 4. And the maximum value of column B can be like 4, 4, 4, 4, or 16, because the values of each digit of Y should be less than 5, and 16 is the highest value that column B can take. So here we see that column B has larger value than column A, but we just have tried some extreme cases. But here, if we try to some other cases, like now we want to maximize the value of column A. So instead of 5, 5, 5, we can take such as 9, 9, 9, which will satisfy this condition that all the digits are greater than 4. And if we take 9, 9, 9, the sum of all the digits should be 27. Earlier it was 15. And for column B, if we try to minimize the value, we can take like 1, 1, 1, 1, and the sum of all the digits should be 4. Earlier it was 16. So we have found, like, in one case, column A took 15 and column B took 16. Column B was higher. Now we are seeing that column A has a value of 27, column B has a value of 4. Now column A is higher. So there are different cases where we see that at some time column A has a higher value, and at other time column B has a higher value. So we cannot really decide the answer for this scenario. So the answer for question 10 should be D. Now let's try to move to question 11. And here, for column A, we do not have any given information other than the information provided in column A and B. So for column A, it is given that the least number divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the least number divisible by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the least common multiple of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the least common multiple is the least number that is divisible by all these values. And for column B, we have the least number that is a multiple of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is also the least common multiple of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because that the least common multiple is the least number that is a multiple of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here for column A and column B, we see that they are both referring to the same number, but in a different way. So in all the cases, like, there is only one cases actually. The column A and column B are referring to the same number or the same value, the least common multiple. So the value of column A and column B should be equal. So for question 11, the answer should be C. Now let's try to move to the problem 12. Here we are given that the number 3 divides A with a result of B and a remainder of 2. So that means that if we divide A with 3, we get a dividend of B and a remainder of 2. So we can write it as A equals to 3 multiplied by B plus 2, right? The remainder is 2. The result of the division is B, or dividend is B, and 3 is the divisor, and A, we divide the number A. So in the next part, we are given that the number 3 divides B with a result of 2 and remainder of 1. So that means that B equals to 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1. Because here we divide B with 3 and we get a result of 2 and a remainder of 1. Right? So we can write B equals to 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1. So from here we know that B should take the value 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1, which is 7. And since B equals to 7, from the first equation, we can write A as 3 multiplied by 7, since B has the value of 7, plus 2, or A equals to 23. So the answer for question 12 should be 23 or D. And with this format, we complete this video for chapter 4, number theory, part 3. In the next video for part 4, we'll start from problem 13. Till then, be safe and go full force with your preparation. Thank you.